Hi, I'm Mistress Gigi. This is Alpha Wolf's Dungeon. Well, technically, this is my front room because I am still on crutches and cannot make it to my dungeon at the moment. But I figure, what the heck? Might as well answer a few questions from our our BDSM bag. And today's question was, what makes a professional dominatrix different than an I'm going to dominate my husband dominatrix? Okay, so first of all, professional dominatrix usually charge money. That's your big thing right there. Second of all, a BDSM dominatrix that's worth her salt is not going to do sex of any kind. She's not going to go and give you a blowjob or a hand job. So you can kind of get that out of your thing. If you want that, go to a prostitute, right? So, I'm a little past my prime, unfortunately. I am almost 50 years old. Most professional dominatrixes are in their 30s, maybe, if you're lucky, maybe late 40s. And there are thousands of fetishes. And the thing is that when it's between you and your husband or boyfriend or your girlfriend, you can say, okay, well, this is what I like to do, and this is what I'm going to do. When you're with a professional client, you listen to what they like. Let's say that they're into foot fetishes, and you hate having your feet touched, but they're paying $100, $200. You're going to sit there and let them play with your feet. Now, I usually just read a book while they're doing that. So, I used to have one that used to love to paint my toenails after he washed my feet and sanded them down just like a pedicurist, and I loved it. Loved having my feet pedicured for every 2 weeks or so. But my point is that when you're a professional, anything, your thoughts, your feelings on the matter don't usually matter. Now you can set guidelines like, I don't do blood. I never did blood in my dungeon because, well, it's unsanitary. There's a lot of unsanitary practices. But I keep up on the 24/7 of what's going on nowadays. And nowadays, a lot of dames have what they call interchangeable toys. Each client has their own set of toys. And of course, if you're using, say, strap-ons or dildos or whatever they want to call them nowadays. Sorry. Fake cocks. You use rubbers on them. I mean, even we did that back, even when I was in working. And you have a sterilization tank. There's a lot of things that you have to do if you're doing a professional dungeon. A sterilization tank's the biggest issue. Having a room that is not your home, or having a place that's just, for the sport. You can't go and say, okay, well, I'm going to have a session in my bedroom. Doesn't really work. There's a bed in there. They're going to get the wrong idea. I guarantee that. And I may be retired, but I would love to help other dames figure out their way in the world. And you can do this without a bunch of illegal nonsense. You can do it within the law. Paddling was my specialty. Loved paddles. Collected them. Collected handcuffs. Loved them. They were a lot of fun to play with. Didn't really do much in the way of strap-ons, but, hey. But in my course of quite a while, I will not give data on that one, you learn fetishes, even the ones that you're not going to do. I was looking some up on FetLife a couple days ago, and I found one of what was it? Gaslighting. Gaslighting, yes. Not exactly something I would want. Not my idea. There's a lot of fetishes that are just nonsense anymore. But I would love to hear your questions. If you have any particular questions on certain fetishes, please let me know. I'm going to try to do a video on each of the fetishes that I've found, and some of them I will be working out of my book. You cannot find this online anymore. But if, I will be coming up with a new one later on, and you'll probably be able to find that one. That one was a private copy for me that I made a few years back. If you have a question on any particular fetishes, please let me know. I'd love to answer all the questions you get. So this is Mistress Gigi from Alpha Wolf's Dungeon, and have a great day.